Thousands of methodologically sound research projects face rejection by high-tier international journals every year. The data is solid and the findings real, yet the manuscript fails at the editor's desk. Rejection usually stems from a failure to distinguish the medium. A university research report serves as a chronological log of academic labor. A Scopus-level journal article functions as a sleek 15-page architectural blueprint. The publication process requires the extraction of core data into a highly engineered, efficient representation of the evidence. It requires a transformation of the text, moving beyond a simple summary of the original report. Securing a spot in a Q1 journal, the top 25% of a field's impact rankings, relies on structural text engineering. Literary composition and narrative storytelling are secondary to this mechanical framework. We will now reverse engineer the anatomy of a published Q1 manuscript to reveal the hidden framework required for acceptance. A researcher's primary cause of failure is the lack of a rigid architectural structure within the manuscript. Without this foundation, even high-quality data will struggle to find a home in international literature. The initial point of failure occurs at the title. Many authors inadvertently submit titles that read like internal research proposals. Strip out process words like developing or analyzing. An effective Scopus-style title leads with exact variables and measurable results. This streamlined structure presents the core variables immediately, removing the need for the editor to search for your actual contribution. After the title, the editor moves to the abstract. This section serves as the manuscript's highly structured storefront window. A successful abstract follows a mandatory 5-block structure. It must open with a 1 to 2 sentence research gap, the specific void in the literature that justifies the study's existence. The sequence proceeds through the objective, then the methodology, the primary results, and explicit significance of the data. If the title and abstract failed to deliver variables, results, and a definitive gap, the reviewer will likely doubt the rigor of the entire manuscript. In the introduction, many authors provide a chronological background dump of literature. This lack of focus often leads to desk rejection. Introduction. Geometry dictates logic flow. The diamond shape applies for specific terminology, starting with a definition, widening to the broad problem, then narrowing to the intervention. The inverted pyramid fits general topics, starting macro and funneling to the specific solution. In both geometries, the narrative vector must flow strictly from the problem to the solution. This is an unbreakable rule of manuscript engineering. Utilizing the correct geometric structure places the reviewer inside a logical funnel. Your proposed solution then appears as the inevitable conclusion to the problem. Authors often believe Scopus journals require a specific minimum quota of citations, such as 30 or 40 references, to be considered rigorous. Citations are a mathematical function of your text. We use the AR+L framework, blue for definition, red for assertion, yellow for reason, and green for evidence, which requires your citation. The gray link-back inference needs no citation, resting structurally on the evidence above. The inference sentence also manages inter-paragraph cohesion. It must mention the primary keyword of the subsequent paragraph to maintain a continuous logical chain. Paragraphs engineered with AR+L mechanics eliminate baseless assumptions. They transform the writing into a bulletproof chain of evidence. Proving true novelty to the editor is the final hurdle of the introduction section. Relying on weak statements like, "No one has studied this before," is a common error. Novelty must be demonstrated through a specific 3-part sequence. Component 1, highlighted in yellow, is the synthesis of previous studies. This requires a true integration of prior findings, rather than a chronological clipping of author names. Component 2, in red, is the explicit gap. The void in the literature must be targeted with a single, unbroken sentence. Component 3, in green, is the significance. You must explicitly state who benefits from the data and how they will apply it. Reviewers do not presume novelty. It must be mechanically triangulated using past literature, the current void, and future utility to justify the paper's place in the journal. Dense, text-only methodology paragraphs are a red flag for Q1 reviewers. High-tier manuscripts utilize standardized visualizations, like the Prisma flow diagram. Mapping the methodology provides immediate proof of the study's reproducibility. Furthermore, authors must also clarify instrument status. You must explicitly declare if your tools were adapted directly from existing research or adapted, which requires new validity reporting. In the results section, you must apply the absolute referencing rule. Do not use relative directions such as the table below or the chart on the right. Journal typesetting rearranges the final layout, rendering relative directions useless. Every visual must be hard-coded with a specific numerical identifier, such as Table 8. The methods and results sections function as a self-contained instruction manual. This leaves zero ambiguity regarding how data was harvested and categorized. The completed manuscript functions as an interlocking system of load-bearing structures. Every piece is interconnected. A title stripped to its variables drives a geometric introduction, supported by AR+L paragraph mechanics, anchored by the Novelty Trinity, and proven by visualized methods. Scopus editors and peer reviewers inspect manuscripts for mechanical integrity and logical fractures. They prioritize structure over literary elegance. Every data point must support an argument, and every argument must rest on a foundation of cited evidence. Adopting these architectural constraints distinguishes globally impactful scientific literature from local research reports. So stop writing reports. Start engineering publications.